train 500 youth leaders in peace building and climate action. Then, how are we going to do this? For us to ensure that this transformation of nuclear abolition happens, we are looking for a digital campaign that is going to elevate the humanitarian and environmental impact of the nuclear weapon where the social media. We want to ensure that this information that we have today, all the young people within the Africa understand the genesis of these nuclear weapons and how best can they think in the line of humanitarian and also environmental impact that the nuclear weapon has posed. And that's where we are going to get the technical learner as well. And also we're looking on the global collaboration. We want to collaborate also as
This
well
is
with
the very ending session, only 20 minutes left for ending of this session. So overall, today's prize giving ceremony gives us the clear message, and those people working for the restriction of the nuclear weapons, they would like to remove the uses of nuclear weapon. At the same time, those people working for adaptation and mitigation of the climate crisis, they are highly inspired in these prizes. So that's kind of the prize actually inspire our social sustainable SDG leaders. As a result, we can expect something better for our informing our mother planet Earth.
practical when it comes to planting trees in semi-arid areas, and that is going to enable us to handle this issue of climate change in one or the other. And also we want to look on training young people with the issue of smart agricultural practices. And we want to look on how best can we encourage people to use wind and solar to reduce the fossil dependency. And we are focusing that let this our project be locally made so that the global community can own it beyond maybe whatever we're going to do. Allow me to say that our shortest term goal is that we're going to see increased youth engagement in peace and climate action campaign. And also we are going to enhance capacity of locals for sustainability. Our long-term goal, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're going to see a greater peace and cohesive conflict-prone areas and reduce food insecurity. And also we're going to look on Africa's active in global advocacy for the issue of ending the issue of ending the issue of nuclear weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm winding up by saying this. It is not all about whatever we have seen in our past, but it is all about our dedication as young people to ensure that we bring it home. If we collaborate together to empower these young people, we are going to see a sustainable Africa, and we want to also see how best can we demand for accountability and repatriation for the affected communities that we have today. Allow me say this: together we can make it. We can make a difference. When we bring young people and empower our young people today, then we are going to have a better tomorrow. Let's end nuclear war through focusing on environmental sustainability. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the presentation. Now I would like to go International Student Young Power South Asia Program.
I think Sana's just pulling up the PowerPoint. Yeah, if the current screen share could be stopped, and then I could share our presentation.
Felix, could you please stop sharing your screen?
Okay, great.
So based on our votes, our selection committee votes, this presentation will be the winner. Both our board of trustees member will select of this kind of great presentation from all over the world. So we are trying to something, we are trying to evaluate that kind of projects. They will contribute for the whole
Focus
world.
on the nexus of science, ethics, and security. Our work is deeply inspired by the Nobel Peace Prize winning Pugwash Conferences on Science and World Affairs, awarded in 1995. Pugwash emphasizes the importance of dialogue in addressing existential threats like nuclear weapons, climate change, and emerging technologies, which are all not only intrinsically linked, but because they are created by humans must be controlled by humans. ISYP also acts as an umbrella network for national young pugwash groups around the world. These include groups in the UK, USA, Germany, and many other countries. Our mission is deeply grounded in the belief that science and ethics must inform policy. We work to encourage interdisciplinary dialogue between students and young professionals. Our science diplomacy approach emphasizes applying an ethical lens to scientific advancement and international policy. And we do this by equipping students and young professionals through cross-national track of dialogue.
Hey everyone, we'll just take over the next couple slides. So as Sana said, ISYP is a part of our larger project. So we're presenting the South Asia program, but ISYP generally holds a lot of ongoing events on different verticals across regional programming. So some of those have included like our third Nuclear Age conference for young nuclear scholars, which is called In Person, as well as several online workshops, including a recent one on career opportunities with UCDNP on career opportunities for young people in disarmament. Next slide. So this is just a little bit about the team. I'm Laura. Sana is my co-host and co-lead, and then our advisor is Tanvi Kulkarni, who's based in India, as is Sana, and I was previously based in India. Now I'm in London, and Tanvi is affiliated with APLM, the Asia Pacific Leadership Network. So a little bit about the background. So the South Asia program has been going on for literally decades, but this iteration has been going on since 2002. So throughout 2002 2023, two online roundtables were held, and we had well over 35 attendees, and a mailing list is quite a bit longer than that on general nuclear issues in South Asia, kind of taking the temperature, as well as the cyber nuclear nexus. They were small group format. We had presentations from organizations in Bangladesh, in Nepal, India, and Pakistan. We partnered with the University of Lahore and the Institute for Peace and Conflict Studies in Delhi. Maybe you can go to the next slide. I can explain some of the kind of findings from this dialogue. So they were really well received. We had a kind of an immediate interest for both the roundtables themselves, but also to push the project forward. Unfortunately, we didn't have a break in 2024 because I did my master's. So that was essentially the break. Some of the findings, and Sana's going to speak more about this too, was that South Asia is a geopolitical hotspot. So it's both, of course, a highly kind of nuclear armed area with India, Pakistan, as well as China's influence on the region. But in our dialogue, there was a huge interest for the approach we were taking, which is engaging non-nuclear states as well. So like I was saying, we had presence from Nepal, from Bangladesh, and we really would like to further engage Sri Lanka and Bhutan as well. And generally, there was a huge feeling of absence of dialogue amongst young scholars in South Asia. So there's a track 2 space for senior scholars and senior practitioners in South Asia, but not so much young people. And again, emphasizing a safe and inclusive environment, engaging both nuclear and non-nuclear states. And Sana will talk more about this. I'm going to pass it over to her now, but we also really want to push for more research opportunities, which was a huge need identified in the participants in the previous roundtables. I'll pass it to you, Sana.
Thanks, Laura. So here's how the Pacey Award will help us take the ISYP South Asia program forward. First, we plan to form early career working groups, organized thematically and regionally, that will run over a 6 to 8 month cycle. These groups will engage young scholars from South Asia in an interdisciplinary dialogue that is focused on nuclear risk, de-escalation, and disarmament. Secondly, we also aim to invite regional and international experts for roundtable discussions on timely topics of significance. This would also allow for participants to learn from diverse perspectives and also learn from these experts in an interactive manner. The program will culminate in a comprehensive project report that will be co-authored by the participants themselves. We have planned for this report to tentatively be titled South Asian Perspectives on Advancing Nuclear Disarmament. And this will feature insights and recommendations based on the discussions that were held in the working group. And finally, we are also committed to offering honoraria to the participants who join these working groups. This is in our effort to not only recognize their contributions to the working group, but also to help remove any financial barriers, making the program more accessible and inclusive, and thereby encouraging a more diverse set of voices that can participate in these very important conversations. how the timeline of the proposed working group is designed to look like, which is supposed to last approximately 6 to 8 months, as I mentioned. First, we will start in February and March with the launch of the working papers and open call for applications for the working groups. Then in April and June, we will have the roundtable discussions with several regional and international experts. July to October is the report writing phase, where participants will work together to draft, edit, and write a comprehensive report. And this will incorporate feedback from peers as well as potentially from the experts who have participated in these meetings. And finally, in October, we aim to present this report at the ISYP segment of the Pagwash conference in Hiroshima, Japan. We also envision an opportunity for a representative from the South Asia program to potentially present their work at this conference and also attend this conference. And with that, we would like to end by reaffirming our commitment to passing on the spirit of the Russell Einstein Manifesto to future generations. Remember your humanity and forget the rest. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. There were actually 7 seconds left, perfectly on time. Now, I'd like to invite the last project, the institutionalizing nuclear disarmament education at the secondary level.
Thank you so much. Hi everyone. Hi to colleagues, friends, future friends, distinguished guests, and thank you so much to the sponsors and everyone here for investing your time in disarmament and youth. We're really honored to be here as finalists for the Youth Pacey Awards and among so many other inspiring projects. My name is Leah Halla. I work as the Executive Director of the International Positions for the Prevention of Nuclear War Canada, and I'm one of the youth leads on this project, institutionalizing nuclear disarmament education at the secondary level, alongside my colleague, Ali.
Everybody, I'm Ali. I'm also so honored to be with all of you, and I'm the National Coordinator for Canadian Voice of Women for Peace. So this project's driven by the belief that education is a transformative tool for change, to create peace, and a strategy of institutionalization.
It's never been more urgent to face the existential threat of the nuclear threat as well as climate change. But disarmament can't become a reality if people don't know what disarmament is.
And our mission is to integrate disarmament education into national and regional secondary school curricula across Canada and beyond. Why? Because young people aged 14 to 18 are at a critical stage where they're forming their values, informed opinions, and developing the skills they'll need to tackle global challenges. So disarmament education takes an active preventative role, encourages critical thinking, and fosters empathy, facilitating local and global cultures of peace. It also empowers individuals to become advocates for change. So our curriculum involves interactive discussion on subject matter in the nexus of nuclear disarmament, nonviolent conflict resolution, gender, Indigenous justice, and climate justice. And we aim to equip educators with tools, resources, nonpartisan and authoritative knowledge to empower their students as critical citizens, capable of thinking independently, understanding complex global issues, and advocating for a more peaceful and sustainable future.
Disarmament is crucial, but unfortunately it's not already in curricula. In order to achieve it becoming in curricula, we've been creating comprehensive resources and workshops through high schools across multiple subjects and embedding these ideas and themes into existing curricula. That way we're ensuring the sustainability of this work. We piloted some of the lesson plans for high school students from 2021 to 2023 before launching them in the classroom last year. In collaboration with teachers, curricula developers, as well as teachers' unions, over the past year we've been able to host workshops for teachers' professional development days in provinces across the country, including Ontario, Manitoba, and Nova Scotia.
Yeah, and these workshops are designed to empower educators with the tools and confidence to bring disarmament education into their classrooms using trauma-informed teaching methods and nonpartisan delivery of political issues.
These are some of the examples of those handout resources, and we're really excited to share some of the highlights from our journey so far. In Ontario, we found that 94% of teachers reported feeling, Ali, if you could switch to the next slide. Thank you. 94% of teachers reported feeling more comfortable teaching about nuclear disarmament, and 100% better equipped to use trauma-informed approaches. We found similar results in Nova Scotia and Manitoba, and we are really proud to have reached dozens of educators, and through each of them, many more students, as well as directly engage with hundreds of students.
In addition, in Canada, our conversations and resource sharing have reached educators in the Yukon and internationally in countries like Japan and Germany. So these achievements reflect the growing interest and momentum of disarmament education.
While the impact is really evident in the stats we've shared, it's also even more clear to me in the faces and voices and work of the youth who have had disarmament in education, and the work they do both, in their schoolwork, but nationally and internationally as well. For myself, it's particularly meaningful because not too long ago, I was in high school, and that's when I was introduced to disarmament because of the education work done by civil society orgs, like many of the orgs we're a part of, and for me, it was by doctors and IPVNW, as well as women of the Canadian Voice of Women for Peace. So it's very meaningful to me to now be continuing the legacy and doing this work, leading it with these organizations.
And our approach is grounded in three key pillars: partnership, inclusivity, and expertise. So partnership, this project is an intergenerational and intersectional collaboration between civil society and educators. And we are grateful to have partners such as Hugo Thurlow, a survivor of the Hiroshima bombing and nuclear disarmament campaigner, join us in our workshop in Ontario.
So we are very
Also,
close
Pacific
to
as
ending
Canada's
our
oldest
broadcast
feminist peace
from the
organization,
almost
Canadian Voice of
last
Women for Peace
1 hour
ensures
and
that our
half
curriculum
an
reflects diverse
hour.
gender perspectives and incorporates Indigenous narratives. And expertise, with the leadership of IPPNWC, an organization rooted in science-based policy, we ensure our educational materials are both accurate and impactful.
Looking ahead, 2025 will be a really exciting year. With the Pacey Award, we hope to expand to new regions and create new networks to link educators to each other. Building on successes of last year, in February, in a couple of weeks, we have our second annual workshop with the Ontario Teachers Union. We hope to use it as a platform to strengthen our initiative and launch the next phase, integrating disarmament education into policy.
And this award will also give us the resources to scale up our efforts, create digital resources to bring greater accessibility, and grow our partnerships to reach more students and educators. Because disarmament education is about more than just teaching facts. It's about empowering the students to think critically, engage with global issues, and take action for a peaceful future.
As global tensions rise and political changes shift, this work could not be more urgent. The world changing isn't a possibility, it's inevitable, and it's happening right now. But by nurturing young voices and institutionalizing disarmament education, we shape how the world changes. We're not only addressing nuclear weapons and climate change, but also fostering the skills and values young people need to build a just, more sustainable, and peaceful world. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here, investing your time, and to the sponsors, investing your resources in disarmament and the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your presentation. You actually had 17 more seconds, but it was great, did it on time. So it was really great, at least on my side, to actually listen to the finalists' presentations because as a jury member, we had to go through all the more than 100 submissions, and they were through the Excel sheet, and it was mostly like text-based information. Whereas now we can actually see the faces behind those submissions and also see some of the videos that you prepared, the creative ways that you used, different ways to actually communicate and convince all of us who are present today to support your projects. And for that, thank you once again for all of you for taking your time to present, to be here with us. I know that you are coming from different parts of the world, from different timing zones, and it's really nice to see so much dedication from your side and so much commitment to tackling some of the global challenges and issues arising. And of course, it's really nice to learn from each other, to hear from these inspiring projects and stories. So I hope that this inspiration can be serving as an idea for others too. So with that, it's time for us to move to the important part of the ceremony, which is actually the voting. And there were a lot of questions in the Q&A. So once again, we will use a poll system, and it will consist of two parts. The first, so each of you will have one vote for each category. So meaning that you can choose one project for the Europe-based presentation finalists, and beyond Europe project, you would also have only one vote, but we will choose two projects with the highest amount of votes and percentage of the votes as the winners, since we have two prizes in the global project category, whereas for the European, there's only one prize. So I hope that this answers some of your questions, and it's also more or less understandable how the procedure is going to take place. To announce the winners, I will invite one of the panelists here, Margaret Kiener-Dellen, who is the former member of the Swiss Parliament and of the Swiss delegation to the OSCE, as well as the board member of the Basel Peace Office. And while the presenting part of the winners would be going on, I would be bearing the certificates, the digital certificates. Yeah, hopefully it will work out, technically speaking. So with that, let me do a short recap of the project once again, I guess. Alan, if the polling system is ready, maybe you could share and I could read out. Otherwise, I can just go through the list. Okay, great. So now you should be able to see the window, which has the first category and at least three European-based projects. Unfortunately, hosts and panelists cannot vote, and I think it's also the point of fairness as well, that you would not be choosing yourself or, yeah. So it's done in a principle of direct democracy, and the participants, the attendees, would be serving as jury members this time. So please make sure to choose your favorite project, the project that was appealing to you the most, the project that you think is convincing, is feasible to receive the support. If all the attendees have voted for this one?
Yeah, not yet. So we have 109 people, 110 people who have voted, and there's just over 150 participants. So let's allow just a little bit longer for everybody to get their vote in.
Okay. Thank you for this update. So for the remaining votes by the attendees who did not vote yet, please make sure to choose one from the listed three projects, please, so that we can move on to the next category.
Yeah, sure. We have submitted first one.
Looks like we're coming near 130 votes in so far, which means there's about 15 people who haven't voted, but maybe they've taken a little break or something. So I'd give it another 15 seconds and then we close off.
All right.
stop. We're at 100, 139, 140 votes. So should we close it off now?
Yep. If that's possible.
Yep. Okay, we're ending the poll. Now should we go to category 2?
Yes, please.
Okay, category 2 is now up and running. You can vote for your choice.
So you can see there are 6 projects in total, and 2 of them would be selected as winners in this category. Make sure to choose 2 different projects.
So far 115 have voted, so we've still got some votes to come in.
What's the progress so far? Is it more now?
We're at 126 votes. So there's still a few to come in. Should we give it another 30 seconds? And 10 more seconds.
There are almost 140 judges in this selection committee. I am also one of them due to high trafficking, internet browsing, it's too slow. They're having a lot of trouble in this moment.